Good day to everybody out there. This is your boy, Nate Richardson. I am a hybrid athlete. I am a former endurance athlete, rocking my Ironman hat, sporting the sporting the lifestyle I used to live. Let's just put it that way. I really upgraded, and I've kind of upgraded my weightlifting. I've upgraded my goals to basically kind of put endurance out of the picture. Those of you who have seen my previous episodes are kind of aware that I really kind of left that type of training behind a while ago. When I say a while ago, I mean about 6 months ago, roughly 6 months ago, coming up on 6 months, or just past 6 months, I guess, because I did my last marathon on May 5th of 2024. So since then, I'll post some pictures and stuff, and on my social media, I have that. On this channel, I have some shorts that basically show my physique update and kind of how my body has changed. But bottom line is, I'm really getting into the weightlifting side of things. I'm really getting into bodybuilding. I'm really getting just putting on, good mature muscle. I'm in my 30s, so I think I can relate to a lot to men my age. Those of you guys that maybe, you just enjoy hitting the gym, you enjoy the habit of, getting in, lifting weights. You follow you follow some high profile guys, maybe like Sam Sulek, or for those of you younger guys, like those millennials, maybe age 18 to 25. Sam Sulek's like the number one go-to guy. Not necessarily ideal for diet, as we all know, but there's some other, really good guys out there, some professional guys that kind of, have a channel and share information on training and the science of training, and guys like Mike Israetel, and some other great, scientific guys that really break down training and break down the ins and outs of it. For me, I've posted 15 handful of episodes and these short videos that basically kind of speak to, my love for just overall fitness and training and endurance, and give you guys kind of a breakdown of what I do and what my week's like and how I train and how I mix in running with training and all this stuff. And, it's been a hard road. I mean, I've had days where I run, you run 11, 12 miles, you lift weights, you can try to, wake up and do it again. And anyone who's done that knows it's very demanding. I've gotten in really good shape in the past. I have had, about 180-pound body weight. I've been very lean, maybe not sub 10%, but close to being sub 10%. Still lifting, doing marathons, did a couple Ironmans, quite a bit of, endurance and miles that I've logged in the past 5 years. All the way back to the beginning of when I really made the decision to dedicate myself, fully into fitness, to quit alcohol, to quit bad habits in my health, to quit fast food, to quit processed carbohydrates, processed foods, to pay attention to macros, to do like the basics that anyone, especially a man, if you're a man and you're into fitness, you really need to pay attention to what you're eating, to how you're sleeping, to your hydration, everything. So it's been 3 full years for me, coming up on 4 years. In January, February, it's going to be pretty much 4 full years of me dedicating my life, my habits, and my life to fitness. And I'm very happy with how things have gone. I know that there's a lot more that I can accomplish and a lot more that I can do, because I do have the mindset for it. I'm a little bit crazy. I'm pretty obsessed with, keeping my routine and my schedule, which obviously is a requirement for fitness and overall health and success if you're really going to make gains and progress. But I think as long as you have the desire to train hard and pay attention and integrate fitness and muscle building and everything, weightlifting and everything that goes with it into your life, then this is the show for you. This is the podcast for you. I really want this thing to grow. I'm at about 90 subscribers right now, and I'm going to start, really fun. I know I've said it before, but I really want to focus on, adding some animation, adding some more information, some links, some files, some of the samples of the diet templates that I have for clients. I do a lot of work for diet templates for clients. So people that I'm close to, and even some people that I'm not so close to, I've delivered some pretty good products to them in terms of, just basically a comprehensive day-by-day meal plan for you, and how you can really integrate that, implement that, and, create good habits to where, the diet that you choose is a diet that you can 100% follow. That's more important. It's less important to pick perfect food as it is to basically pick something to where you're not going to, freak out every week and say, oh my God, I need to, eat this shitty food or whatever it is. So that's kind of my sweet spot right now, is basically getting into, helping clients that way from a trainer perspective. I'm not necessarily like the elite level to where, you're going to watch me, win a competition, or I can't bench press 400 pounds. I can't deadlift 800 pounds. I can't do what, the top 1% of the 1% can do, but I definitely work harder than a lot of people. And that kind of gives me the confidence to basically do a show like this in a program, and hopefully gain some traction, gain some clients, and gain everything, gain some networking, gain some new relationships online. So much of the world is online. I mean, I work online, I work remote as a professional, and data. So this just kind of falls into everything that I'm about. So that being said, let me get into a few subjects related to bodybuilding and related to my progress leading into kind of 2025, and then kind of give you a breakdown of what I'm going to be sharing over the next 6 to 12 months. I've pretty much achieved every goal that I've set in terms of endurance, and now I have a new goal that's in bodybuilding. And my goal in bodybuilding is to basically do an amateur show, probably by the end of 2026. So I'm basically giving myself 2.5 to up at the high end 3 years to basically quit endurance, kind of be skinny overall, and then put on muscle mass, do a couple of bulks and cuts, and then get into an amateur show in Colorado at the local level and compete. Not necessarily win, but not necessarily be the worst guy. So I'm pretty self-aware of how I look compared to other people in the gym and, the top tier guys, and how I would stack up if I were to enter a competition today and versus, if I were to enter a competition and diet hard in the future. So I think building the foundation is really what I'm going to focus on this next year. I've already started that. Like I said, I'm 6 months in, 6 months out from a marathon. And anyone who really kind of doubts how much muscle you can put on in a short amount of time, without doing steroids, you can put on quite a bit of muscle. It's all about kind of managing your cardio, and I've spoken about this before in this channel. It's all about managing your workload and managing the type of stimulus that you want to basically generate for your body. There's a bunch of guys that talk about ideal rest times, ideal rest intervals, intensity, weight, volume, rep sets, whatever. There's enough science out there. I'm not going to get into the deep science, but I'm going to get into basically like the high level, the overarching habits that you need to have. I will say you need to balance cardio and weightlifting. If you want to stay lean, obviously diet is very important, but if you want to stay lean and you want to still build muscle and not stay kind of thinner, you need to avoid doing too much cardio kind of as a hybrid athlete or somebody who's done both in the past. And that's where the big shift for me has come. I'll drop an image of my current body, my current physique versus what it looked like 6 to 8 months ago. And you can see I've pretty much put on about 20 pounds. Not all of it's muscle, but I would argue that 10 to 15 pounds of it is muscle and at least 5 to 8 pounds is body fat. But bottom line is I'm right around 200 pounds right now. I've never been this heavy in my life, but I've done it correctly. I've done it properly in a lean bulk. So that's really what I'm about, is basically sharing kind of my experience, my hands-on experience, and really giving you a detailed path and kind of reporting on that as someone who doesn't have the God-gifted, genetics to basically, get huge quick. But I do have the work ethic, like I said, and kind of the knowledge that I've gained over several years of doing this to basically kind of give you guys a report and update. And bottom line is, based on training, you want to, decide your split, decide the regimen that you're going to have, and you want to incrementally increase intensity week over week. So one thing that I've noticed now that I'm kind of all in on bodybuilding is my cardio has gone to like a maintenance state to basically, get me warmed up. Like I'll get on a stationary bike, I'll do a 10 to 15 minute bike before a heavy weight session, or after once or twice a week, I'll run a 5K. I might do a 15, 20-minute run, jog, not too intense, but definitely, some multiple miles in a single cardio session, which I've noted doesn't really damage my muscle gaining ability. If I were to do that every day, it would, but it's almost like an active recovery benefit to where those of you guys that are in good cardiovascular shape, kind of like myself, and you also lift weights, you really, like, compared to other dudes, like, you can go. I mean, you can do set after set after set after set. What you need to find is that sweet spot, that balance of, okay, let me make sure this set is really intense and it's hard, and I give myself enough recovery. I would say 45 minutes to 60, 45 seconds to 60 or 75 seconds in between sets, to where you're still, huffing and puffing, but you kind of have enough time to kind of, you shock the muscle once, let it recover momentarily, and go after it again. So I think there's kind of a method to that madness. I'll speak about that in future episodes, but bottom line is, I hope, people who watch this can maybe track my progress and see how I look in about 2 years from now, because it's really going to be a nice sequence of bulk cut, kind of what Sam Sulik does, or, other guys that are kind of, really famous on these channels and stuff and online. But bottom line is I'm basically sitting at 200 pounds right now. I've gone from 180 to 200 in about 5 or 6 months. 20-pound weight gain doesn't seem like much, but when it's a lean weight gain, it's pretty significant. I notice a difference in my physique. As I said, I just posted those 2 pics side by side, and you can kind of see that difference. So, that's where I'm at is, I really want to kind of give that a go at, like, how big can I get without really getting too fat. And I think for me, the sweet spot is going to be around 210 pounds. So the path going forward is going to be bulk to 210, cut to 196 to 190, maybe just up 200, 195, 196, and then bulk back up to like 215, maybe 218 at the most, and then do one more final cut to right at around 200. In my opinion, I'm 6'1", so I think 200 is pretty good, weight to be on stage or to be kind of in competition shape. So looking forward to kind of how I look, when I get there. Again, that's probably not going to be until 2026, but this is kind of a long-term channel to basically where I, give a quick rundown of who I am, kind of how I live my life in the fitness space. So that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about kind of a recap of where I've been the last couple of years and going into bodybuilding now. 2025 is going to be the first kind of full-on year where I don't have to prep for an endurance race. I've always had to in the past, to where you really do some damage to all the weight gain, the muscle gain progress that you make. It's kind of it's depressing in a lot of ways. Where I always come into February and March, and I was like 196, 197, pretty lean and feeling strong, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, you're going to start running 40, 50 miles a week to prep for this marathon. So not doing that anymore. I can always go back to it. I mean, I'm still young. I'm in my early 30s, so that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, thanks for watching this, and I hope you guys go out there and be great, do great things, and we'll see you next episode for kind of a detailed review of my kind of my week and my month for bodybuilding training. Thanks. Take care.